Locker room talk, baby.
The locker room.
Bro, what's doing? Bro, Ryan.
Not much, man. Just good to be here. Good to see. I haven't seen you for ages, man.
Man, talking about busy, you just got back from LA.
Yeah.
And we're talking not the normal kind of busy, like real kind of celebrity busy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Who else? Vin Diesel. Pretty much anyone that's really famous.
Entourage boys. And see, man, I don't really know much about Entourage, but I caught up with it on the plane, watched a couple of seasons, probably 1.5 seasons on the way there and when I got there and in the hotel and that, and now I'm addicted to it. The guys are good guys. And I like that when you hear about someone, but then you meet them, and when they're a good person, it just makes them, so much more appealing, and now I'm addicted to it.
Is there any similarities in lifestyle?
You know what, man? I think they're stuck. I think they're just stuck in like Johnny Drama and that. I don't know if you watch it. They're just stuck. They're actually living out the characters now, and Vince and that.
Wasn't some of it like based like loosely on Wahlberg's character?
It's based loosely on Wahlberg, and they bump into Mark Wahlberg's entourage in the thing, and it's funny. I saw when I spoke to Wahlberg last year, he had E there, the original E. He's the E. And I was like, oh, who's this guy? And he's like, yeah, this is E, man. This is the original. I said, what does he do? What's he doing now? He said, nah, he's just in my entourage. I said, oh, so what do you? He goes, oh, man, when I first started, I just got him to carry drugs on planes and that for me. But now, man, he's just like, he's my crew, man. And, we got other ways, but he's taking a few bullets. So I got him. So these guys, man, it's like him, Vince and Johnny Drama and that. They're living this life like they are in actually. They're famous, they're stars, but they're living like they're in Entourage, and it's just important that they just have to sometimes take a step back and just work out what reality is. Not like Charlie Sheen and just get caught up in it. And Charlie Sheen still thinks he's on 2.5, man.
Is he still winning or what?
I think he's losing, man. He was winning there for a while, but he got caught up with too much, and he's in Malibu, man, but he's not winning at the moment.
Yeah, nah. Speaking of movies, I went and seen Mad Max the other day.
Yeah, what's that like,
bro?
Hectic,
I don't know how to explain this. Like, I was with my missus, and it was almost too much. Like, the action in it, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I ask my missus to leave because it's too much, will she break up with me for being less of a man?
Did she enjoy it, Mark?
Well, the action is so hectic that, like...
George Miller, man, he's too good.
Bro, it's unbelievable. And, like, just, like, there's probably, like, 10 words in the whole movie. Or not 10 words, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's barely any script, but there's like this really strong mythology just like in the background. It's a sick movie. Like,
you know what, man? Everyone I've spoken to about it has said it's good, which is always good for a review. But the thing that I like about it, what you just said, there's no storyline. There's no arc of the storyline up and down. It's just full on action and full on theatre. So that's what I like about it, and that's hard to do now. People criticise it, but it's gotten 5 stars everywhere. So,
bro,
and I love Megan Gale, man.
Oh, Megan Gale, she made it. Yeah,
she's probably number 2 for me.
Number 2.
Yeah, she's up there, probably my number 2.
I didn't even know she was in it.
Mate, she's in it. She's in a tree. She's nude in it.
Yeah.
She is. She's in it, man.
Yeah, I know she's in it, but when I seen her, she's with like I won't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Let's just leave it at that. Because Tom Hardy's he's one of my favourites.
Bro, I love him.
Tom Hardy and obviously, is it Charlize Theron or Scarlett Johansson? One of them, Charlize Theron.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference between her and Scarlett Johansson.
She's awesome in it, man.
Well, then you got them two, and you got Megan Gale, man. You can't lose. No, and George Miller, he's the king. Way.
Apparently, it took like 15 years to make or something. 10 years.
Well, Megan Gale would have been making what when she was like 11.
So you just got back from LA, and being the good mate that you are, you came. This is essentially your first weekend you've had off, even though you're working tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, tomorrow I've got. I'm going to just chill tomorrow. I've been doing a bit of training. I'm doing that early, but I'm just going to chill out with the girls tomorrow.
You going to enter the Tour de France soon? Or?
Nah, man, I'm not doing. I'm shredding. But on Sunday I've got to do the Sharks game, which is good. This keeps me busy, and I'll take the girls out there. But yeah, I'm a busy person. I like to be around people. I like to be doing stuff. If I'm in the car, I'm on the phone. If I'm at home, I'm talking to someone, or I like to be around people. I annoy the shit out of me missus, but I'm a people person.
So where's it doesn't get bigger than what you've been doing lately. Like, it doesn't get any bigger. The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Oh, interviewing them. See, bigger is like being in the movie.
Yeah, being them. Yeah,
being them.
Well,
no, look, I don't know, man. Yeah, what are you saying? What are you going to say?
What I was going to say is that, like, how does because I know you were mates and you're a humble guy, but you're extremely talented. But how does a humble guy like that? Because I remember when I played footy, and obviously it's not the same level. When I played footy and I was playing NRL, there were times when I'd sit back and just go, "This is crazy. This is stupid. Like, I'm just some whatever."
Yeah.
When you sit back and you go, "What's going on with it?" Like, how do you feel when you think, "I just interviewed Arnold Schwarzenegger"?
Yeah,
like,
it's funny you say that because when I was playing, like, I was never the best player. See, I took every I didn't take anything for granted. I took every opportunity that was given to me. I used to get to training and really just love being around being in the squad, and then got in first grade and then just didn't want it to end. It's like a drug; you just want more of it, and you just want to be around people. I'm not saying drugs are good in any way, but you just got to be grateful for everything that's happened and try and take your chances. And I was lucky enough through injury and everything that I got I had a fair run. But there were times when I was playing league, same thing. I'd sit around whether it was playing rugby, whether it was playing first grade or being at training, where I'd just take it all in and say, how good is this? You would have seen some people at the Broncos, Darren Lockyer, who I still reckon is the best player I've played against, who made me look stupid a few times. Him and Carmichael. If you're in the same room as them, Justin Hodges, it catches up with you. But I think the benefit of not letting it overwhelm you is you be yourself, you play your role, and you know your job. But as I sort of got more experienced, as I got older, with age comes experience. I got a bit, I'd become at ease and just become accepted within the group, and then doors opened here and there, and I just took my opportunity to do stuff off the field. And now, and it does happen. While I'm in the moment, I'll get it's a bit of a blur, and everything's still happening. But like when I spoke to you last Friday and things like that, I do get overwhelmed when I do think about things sometimes. So I try not to think about it now, because if I'm sitting there like yesterday and I'm talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger or talking to Ricky Martin or whoever.
Is he as good looking as I think he is?
Who, Ricky Martin?
Yeah.
Ricky Martin's beautiful, man.
He makes me feel...
But he's got a technique when he takes photos of himself too. And he's got
really?
the correct light. I'm not taking anything away from him.
Yeah.
But he's...
don't you dare knock Ricky.
But he's... he doesn't age. But... it's just, I don't know, it's strange. It's like, from where I'm from and from everything that I've done and my friends and everything about me, I shouldn't be in that room. So that's why I make every interview and do everything and treat everything day like it's my last.
Well, that's the crazy thing that, like, what you don't realise is that the humbler you are, the more proud you are of where you've been, because you have this, like, low expectation of yourself, like, I'm just a normal guy, just trying my best. So it's kind of like this double-edged sword of, like, the humbler you are, the more proud you are to be there. That's
right. It's funny. You're spot on. And the thing I've noticed about the higher the celebrity, especially with Arnie yesterday, you can't get bigger than Arnie. Like The Rock and people like that are taken aback by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Rock would look up to Arnold.
He does. And him and Hulk Hogan, guys like that who were pioneers. People like that who, Arnie doesn't bow down to anyone. But he's got more time for anyone than anyone else. Him and The Rock and guys like that, Ricky Martin, Wahlberg, they stop for every single person. They don't walk past people. This isn't just to try and keep their brand or their image strong by keeping their fan base strong. They genuinely care because they've come from nothing, all of them. And similar to my story, although I got given opportunities by my parents when I was old. I didn't have the best of everything, but my parents went without to make sure we didn't go without.
Is that why you're just like 24/7 now?
I just think when I first started doing stuff like this, I just took everything because I never knew when it was going to stop, and I just took every opportunity and just went for the ride. But now I'm sort of fortunate that I can pick my chances and pick opportunities. And mate, if they say to me, you got to be on a flight tomorrow, I spoke to them yesterday. I think we're going to go to see John Cena next week, mate. I'm on it. And they go, if you're over there for 12, I think we've got a 12-hour layoff, so we're flying in and out. Because if you said that to me 15 years ago, man, I'd pay for the flight myself, and I'd hitchhike over to America. So you just got to be able to. There's a fine line between being humble and being overwhelmed by everything, and that's the line that I'm trying to get as close as I can to that to ensure that I get the best interviews and the best for myself.
So, when I spoke to you last week, the hard thing that a lot of people don't see is what you just said. You said, I could get a call tomorrow and I've got to go. And when we were speaking the other week, you're like, man, I really miss my family. You got a beautiful wife, beautiful child. It is that balancing act of like chasing your dreams, but you know, loving your family and having the kid. Like, people don't see that, you know, like that's a kind of, I guess, undercurrent of the sacrifice that you make. So, like, how often are you kind of sitting there going, like, I want to progress in my career, but I really, really miss my kids, you know, like.
I think that, there's a balance, but I think it's like I miss the team. I miss the team, the camaraderie and having the mateship and the everything that a team environment brings. But when you're doing what I do now, it's very much individual in a sense that I'm in a room by myself, or I'm on stage by myself, or performing a song or whatever. I'm by myself. But when I'm what people don't understand, it's my team's now my family and my mates. So I need to have understanding friends and family. And if they're understanding, my family's very understanding. My wife's just given up her, you know, we both made sacrifices, and I was driving up from here when I played Tigers and Sharks, so she could have a business, and now we're up in the big smoke, and she's up there, and she's just sold her business recently.
She had a really successful business.
She had a good little business, and it made her happy. More importantly, made her happy. I didn't really care. She didn't really care about, obviously money's important, but she was more she wanted to be independent. You know what women are like, they want to be independent. Yeah, and she'd achieved that, and she got to the stage of her life where I said, I need her more, to be more, you know, I know it sounds selfish, but we need to just really focus on what I'm doing for the next couple of years to benefit our family in the long run. And she's made a sacrifice, and it may work out well for her, have more time. She's taken up all these different little things, man. She changes her mind every day. You know what chicks are like, man. But yeah, sometimes she's killing me, but other times she's got some good ideas, and I'm there to support her with whatever she wants to do, and she's got a bit of time on her hands now and a bit of freedom. So they keep me together, and my friends keep me grounded, and my family, my sister, and that. But it's sort of like you're on my team or you're not at the moment with who I'm with, and if people can understand that I've got to go away sometimes and I've got to be here and be that, it's because I've got a commitment and I've got goals that I want to achieve, and that's where I'm at the moment.
That's pretty impressive feat for her to just be able to create a successful business whilst also supporting you. I mean, It's like this. You kind of got that kind of typical behind every good man is a great lady. Like, so she's been there through all the hard times with you, doing what you're doing whilst owning a business. It's pretty crazy.
Well, look, man, everyone's had ups and downs. Everyone, you know, we both know each other really well, and everyone's been up and down. But you need to not. It's not remember where you come from, but you need to remember what got you where you are. And you know, without my family, obviously my daughter, I don't even have to say anything about her. But my wife,
the rental.
But my wife, you know, it's strange. Sometimes you do get a bit ahead of yourself, or in my case, I do, and I get a bit. I look too far down the track, but I've got to just reel it in. And she's done a lot in her career, and she's realised now she's got different goals. So we do complement each other, but you got to know when it's your time. When it's time to reassess where you're at. And this is when I talk to people, and I like to talk to people off camera, because one from the camera or the microphone, you know, all bets are off. The gloves, you know, you drop your guard. So I spoke to Arnie yesterday, and the thing that inspires me about Arnie is he got told, I read out a list of what he's done and what he can do. So he's a writer, director, actor, model, philanthropist, investor, businessman, governor. He's done it all. And the best thing about him, he's been told that he got told he couldn't act. So what he did, he was a bodybuilder, and he became the best of that. And then he was smart enough to come into Hollywood, and he was doing what no one else was doing, which is what I try and do. You try and bring a point of difference. So he teamed up with James Cameron, who's one of the heaviest hitter directors, and they had Terminator. He said, I want to say I'll be back. James Cameron forced him to say it, paid him enough money to say it, and he eventually said it, and now he loves saying it. So
one of probably the classicest.
It's probably the biggest line. Yeah, between that and he likes Hasta La Vista Baby better. I like Get to the Chopper. That's my favorite. But he's a pioneer in everything. So he's done it all, and he's been told that he can't do anything.
And
he still trains twice a day.
Him?
Mate, that's it. And you know, he would have been president of America. The only thing holding him back, he did 2 terms as governor.
Yep.
The only thing holding him back was he's not an American citizen.
I heard.
He's not. Sorry, he's an American citizen. He's not. He wasn't born in America. There. Which Obama, there's still a bit of a grey area there. No one really knows where Obama's born. But we'll leave that at that.
We'll leave that alone.
I don't want to go near that, man. I don't want CIA or Illuminati on me.
NSA.
I'll stay out of that, man.
I actually, speaking of the NSA, I watched a documentary called Citizen 4 the other day. It told Coons about it. He loves those things.
Yeah, well, mate, we got common interests, mate. We love conspiracy theories and but we're educated.
Yeah.
So we know what we're talking about. So a lot of people pretend to know it, but we know what we're talking about with stuff like. And sometimes we think too much into it, and it's just it might be all smoke and mirrors, but we think about it.
Yeah, definitely. So, what is a characteristic? You spoke of Arnold, taking everything to the kind of next level. Was there a certain like characteristic that each celebrity you've met kind of had? So not celebrity per se, but every successful person you've met, is there a characteristic that kind of stands out to you that you kind of links them all together? Yeah,
the main thing that with all that, they don't fluke anything, especially in Hollywood and what they're doing. It's a bit different here, like within, say it's TV or you're doing film. There's not heaps of work, but you sort of need to know people. Over there, you need to know people, but these guys don't just fluke a role. Yeah. Like these guys, they work their ass off. So the main thing that they've all got in common is not that they've come from nothing, but they've come from the ground up and they've worked extremely hard. So I'd say their diligence and their commitment. They get told, which is being told no and saying you can't do this. They just stick to it, and they're self-belief, man. And it's like anything, and it's sport, it's life, man. It's business, it's sport, it's politics, man. You got self-belief, you can do it.
Yeah, well, I love the saying. I don't know it exactly, but successful people often fail more than fail like people that fail. So it's kind of I love that kind of idea of the fact that you're going to succeed, like you're going to fail 1,000 times more than you're going to succeed, but that one success can separate, can diminish all of those failures.
So like Michael Jordan, he said the other day after the Chicago got pumped by Cavs, and he said he missed 36 or 37 game-winning shots. No one cares about that.
Yeah, no.
The ones he hits, he still wants the ball. It's a difference between playing with, Darren Lockyer, Carmichael Hunt, Benji Marshall, Todd Carney. These guys, I play with these guys, Benji and that, and they'll throw a ball to me and it'll go over my head. We'll play at Wynn Stadium. They'll throw it. Sometimes it lands on the beach. Yeah. Toddy Carney will kick it and it'll land in the water. Yeah. And we'll come off the field and Sheensy will say to Benji, man, look, that play's not on. Play percentages and play short or whatever. Yeah. And he'll walk over to me. And this is the thing you can't coach. And this is why these guys get paid so much money. He'll walk over and he'll wink. He'll go, stay flat, it's on. And then we'll score and we'll win. And he'll throw the pass. And he's the hero. Yeah. It's a fine line between having the balls to do it. But Benji and Todd Carney, Cherry Evans, that's why they're getting the big money because, if I throw a bad pass, I'm not passing for 4 or 5 months.
No.
You know what I mean? If I drop a bomb, I'm honestly, no shit, I'm praying that Lockyer doesn't kick to me again. But these guys make an error and they want the ball, and that's the difference between good and great.
I think I passed one ball. It was a forward pass, and that's about it.
I passed a forward pass from dummy half once and got dropped, and I was in Premier League for 4 weeks playing against Wyong. And I never want to go to Wyong. No offence to people who live in Wyong, but I don't want to go there every day, mate.
Oh, man. Speaking of footy, how much do you miss it? I mean, I know how hard the decision was for you to quit or retire, because it wasn't really quitting because of your neck.
It was quitting, man. Threw the towel in.
Okay, you threw the towel in. All right, sorry.
No.
How hard was that? Was it easier knowing that you had something else to go to?
100%.
Yep, because when I just decided that was it, I've struggled I've struggled heaps. Like just with the fact that I had a team, I had a purpose, I had a goal. Every morning I woke up, there was a kind of purpose to my life, all that kind of stuff. You've kind of you're still around footy. Has that helped a lot? That you're still kind of there?
100%. I did want to stop and I didn't. I was torn. My family wanted me to stop, which is a big part of the reason. And my management and my team and my teammates who cared about my concerns wanted me to stop. And then my team and my coach and my players and fans and people wanted me to keep playing. But it come a time where when I made the decision and I sat down, I literally sat down with Channel 9. I spoke to you guys before as it happened, and I needed the security of a contract and things like that. I wasn't going to just walk away without having, I'm smarter than that. Yeah. So we sat down and when we made the call and when I spoke to the powers that be at 9 and they said, look, we want you for X years. I said, I'm going to make the decision. They said, it's a good decision. I spoke to the doctor. He said, it's a good decision. The coach said, it's a good decision. Yeah. That was honestly like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. Yeah. And it was the best feeling ever, announcing that I was going to retire to my family and things like that. Yeah. Announcing it to the team and to me mates and to me fans, hardest thing ever. And I got a bit upset when I told the Tigers I was leaving because it's mate, you're around them more than you with your missus.
Oh, 100%.
So when I told the boys,
you're going to war
oh
every
mate,
weekend.
it was going to war, and you
Yep.
bleed with these guys, and you sweat, and you fight, and you
Yep.
argue, and you
And
have
you would
fun,
literally do
and
anything.
you laugh. Yeah, and you can't replace that. So to answer your question with, do I miss it? I miss it at the start of the year and the end of the year. I miss it like you wouldn't believe, and I'll miss it on Sunday like you can't explain. I don't miss the day before and the nerves and the day of the game.
Yeah, and the injuries.
And I don't
all
miss
that.
Monday night when I'm watching and eating pizza and it's pissing down rain at Shark Park. But the feeling, and you can't replace the feeling of playing a game and scoring a try and winning a game and representing your club and your mates and your family every time you run out. You can't replace that feeling. And when you stop playing, it's over. And I work with the NRL now, and I'm trying to help somehow for some sort of program. You've seen good friends of mine, Brett Finch, been other people that have struggled. I struggled a bit with it. You struggled yourself with it. Every player struggles at Matty Cooper, but they all deal with it differently. Whether people hide it, mask it, or they go and look for a high somewhere else. Whether it's business, or I'm lucky because I can get a high by performing in front of people and being on stage. Other people look for a high in terms of coaching and being. Other people look for drink. Other people do whatever. There needs to be somehow, because when it's over, it's over. And when people are ringing you when you're playing, it's over. And when people want to know you when you're playing, that's over. When you stop playing. So something has to happen, but you can't replace, you cannot replace the feeling of winning a game and putting your body on the line and walking off after 80 minutes with your mates. Unless you've done it, unless you've played and done that, you can't explain it, and you can't replace it.
Yep, definitely.
And I never played highest level. I never played Origin and won premiership, so I
Prime
think that would
Ministers.
make it worse.
Prime
Ministers,
Ministers.
Australia. But that would have made it worse if I played Origin and things like that. I think the more elite you are, the harder it is to stop.
Yeah, 100%.
I know your body's stuffed and you want to just hang out and have your weekends, but man, you can't get that back.
Oh, just like
you can never get first grade games back.
No, you can't. And just that feeling of like giving you go onto the field, giving absolutely everything you can with a group of guys that
you die for.
You would do anything. You'd do absolutely anything. Like if the coach said, like whatever it was, like I actually did a few scoots once, and
you can move, man.
I'm the softest guy in the world.
No, but my dad loves him, man. He's like, this guy. He goes, after you've probably played about 30 odd games already, and he's like, this guy's good. And I'm like, no shit.
Back in the days.
Yeah. No, I'm like, no shit, man.
Yeah. So you can never get that back. So what's the kind of plan now? Like, is there a plan, or is it kind of just like?
No, I've got a plan.
Yep.
I think when I was younger, it's sort of, when you get a family, it's a bit different. You just got to work out, exactly where you want to be and things like that. And now I'm at the point where I know exactly where I want to be in 5. I'm fortunate. I've got enough time on my hands to work out where I want to be and look after my family, and that's my end. And every time I get it, whether it's a footy contract or a deal off the field, I look at I look at it as my last deal. So this is I'm looking at this as my last to see what I can offer. But I've got a lot of things I want to achieve between now and 2020.
Yep. So where are you 20 years from now? So what you'd be
20 years.
So
20 years from now, I'll be 50.
Yep. What are you doing? Are you on?
I'm 20 years from now. Hopefully, I'm just sitting watching.
You in Hawaii or something like that?
Nah, man. I'm in Australia, man. I'm probably in Warilla.
Yeah.
In 20 years from now, I'm sitting there with a couple of mates up at the beach bar, we call it, with watching my daughter with the shot. I've got a shotgun, making sure there's no guys going near her. That's where I am in 20 years.
I don't know how you're going to stop Remy when she's older. She's got that much personality. It's ridiculous.
It's yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. She's outgoing now, and she's only 2.5. So when she's 20 or when she's 15, man, I'm just going to join a bikie gang and get a gun. Banditos or something. I've got a couple of mates in, I don't know, Comancheros or something.
So another thing that a lot of people don't realise is how good you are to your mates. When you did, when I decided to start this myself, I came straight to you and asked you, what your opinion, like what your advice would be and all that kind of stuff. I just want to kind of talk about the decision to go from playing footy to the Footy Show. It was such a huge turning point in your life. Like that's literally a fork in the roads for you. How hard was that? Like, was that a decision that you, growing up, you knew that you could entertain, you knew you were a funny guy, you knew you were charismatic? Was that something that you had always planned to do, or is it kind of just just kind of fell into place, or?
Yeah, I get asked this a lot, and obviously it was the best decision of my life, career-wise. It was when I was in rugby league. It's changed now, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so thankful it's changed for other people's benefit. When you played, you didn't do anything off the field. You didn't do any media. You didn't put yourself out there, because if you did, it's not part of the culture. You just play your footy. You just go home and you do your thing. But now, guys, I played at St George, and guys like Trent Barrett, Matty Cooper, guys like that, most marketable guys in the world. It was hard for anyone to do anything, because Matty Cooper's sexiest man in the world when in league when he was playing. And Trent Barrett, he's the sexiest man in the world, but he's got fake tan all over his face. So these guys, I was at a club where in St George, when I was at St George, where I was like, you just got to play by the rules and just stick to everything. Then I went to West Tigers, and I think that changed me as a player and as a person in terms of what I did off the field, and they were much more accepting. So got a few meetings with some guys at Channel 9, and mate, I had one day with Chris Heinington come with a meeting with my manager, and then I did some stuff the next day. I was shitting myself, but did a live show and just did a quiz or brain strain, and then the next day I did like Vox Pops on the street, and I was addicted to it, and it was just like, now, when I first started, mate, there'd be 30 guys 20 guys in the NRL with contracts to media agencies,
so
like to Channel
now.
9. I think like Mick Ennis, his contract to
Matty Moylan. You're essentially a
not a pioneer, but I was a person.
You were there. You were there.
I wasn't afraid to do it. Matty Johns before me was doing it, but he was wrapping it up. So playing, I come under a lot more scrutiny, but I believe it obviously grew my profile much greater than footy would ever would, and anything else like that would on the field. So. I'm very thankful that I did it, but it was more just having the balls to just say, this is what I want to do. And I was supported by great people at the time, and they all supported me, and it was the best decision of my life.
I remember vividly that there was a time when you were under the pump from certain people saying that you need to focus more on footy.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the best footy you ever played.
Mate, I was lucky, man, because I was in 2009 when I started. I had 3 good games when I first started. If I would have played shit, Sheensy would have pulled me straight away. Yeah. But I was fortunate that the ball bounced my way and we won a few games. We weren't going too good, but 2010 played pretty well, and then the back end of 2011 and 12 when I was full time. Played some of my best footy, and I had a good balance. And, on my days off when people used to go and play golf and surf and hang out, man, I just used to go and film. That was my getaway. Although I was in the car a lot, that was the best thing that I did, and I loved it.
Yeah. So,
and it was sort of like my training, my apprenticeship. It was like me doing a course, and it was planning for my future. And never did I think I'd get
as big as you are now.
Yeah, as big, but it was always a safety option.
Yeah. So, have you publicly announced what you're going to do in the future with the plays or anything like that?
Nah, but it's something, man. I'm doing the pantomime.
Yeah.
But this is something. Each year I like to test myself with something that I'm fortunate I get offers, but. I did the song last year, which went all right, and which what I mean. It
went all right. That was like, I'll be honest with you, as a mate,
people liked it for what it was. So.
As a mate, I was like, it's just going to be gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking the piss. It was funny. Like, it was a
man,
funny.
I like
song.
writing, not music, but I like writing little raps and mucking around.
Yeah.
But
I know the freestyle. I know the freestyle.
You're saying that. But the pantomime is like a play, and it's like, I don't know, for people that don't know what a pantomime is, it's essentially theatre.
Yeah, let's say
stage.
What play it is.
Yeah, and it's basically on stage on a play, but more crowd interaction. And the thing I like about this, because I'd love to delve into acting and do some stuff in front of camera, but
theatre is the core of acting. Is like from
well,
what
it's you get a lot of respect to do this because there's no 1 takes, 2 takes. It's all live, and you get a lot of cred, a lot of street cred for doing this, and that's what I want to do. I'm nervous about it and anxious, but at the same time, man, I want to say bring it on. And if I can do this, then it's another string to me bow, and it's something else that I want to achieve.
But with acting, do you want to be like a full on, what's the word? Do you want to go into full drama acting and?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I want to do. I just want to I want to have a crack at it.
Yep.
I don't want to finish at the end and this is why I wanted to play NRL, because I got to the stage where am I good enough? I don't want to be one of those guys where I sat down, never played, knowing that I could have played against those guys, and I want to sit down knowing that I had a crack at making a song, or I had a crack at acting, or I had a crack at thing, knowing it went well or it didn't. So I've been doing a few ads for here and there for Nine and what else, but if Channel 9 and the powers that there let me do it, I'll do it, and I'd love to do it. I'm mainly the Aladdin play and being the genie is mainly for my family and Remy and that to watch, and my daughter and that grow up and kids watch it and they love it. But the next step will be hopefully do something in front of the camera, and if I've got it, I've got it. I'd prefer to people say, look, you got no idea what you're doing, you're wasting our time.
But at least you know.
Yeah, just have a crack. Mate, I don't care if I'm walking in the background, but if I'm in a movie, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I tossed it up to The Rock. I said, The Rock's Hasselhoff in the new Baywatch.
Yeah.
And I shot some Baywatch stuff when I was
You
in
could probably
Venice
be a
Beach.
body double.
Mate, I said to him, oh, can't I just get in the, I'll drown. I said, I'll drown. You saved me. He's like, no, well, you just stay out. You stay out of the fucking shot.
Australian cinema, it's worldwide. It's pretty respected.
It's hard, but man.
Oh, yeah.
There's not heaps out there, but I'm lucky that I got a bit of a profile that they've given me opportunity to come from a sporting background. But it is hard.
Yep.
And I've understood that, and I've appreciated that. And
yep.
that's why I'm taking it for what it is to get a crack now. But in terms of taking the next step and doing a show or being on something like that, it is what it is.
I've always thought, imagine dating a really good actor. How would you know?
Mate, I think about that all the time.
Like, how would you know? Would you know?
When we come back from LA, I don't want to sound like a dickhead. Come back from LA, we met the Hemsworth boys.
Yep.
And you talk to them, and they say, "Oh yeah, good to meet you." And all that. You don't know if it's good to meet. They don't. Do they think it's good to meet you? You don't know what they're saying. You don't know if they're laughing at your jokes.
They'd be in my head.
Mate, they're in my head now. And it was 2 weeks ago. I still think about it now. Do they like me? I can't be worrying about that, man. I have to just try and move on. But yeah, man, imagine having an argument or someone staying mad at you.
Like, imagine like they're crying or something like that. Your missus is crying. She's one of the best actors in Australia or something. Yeah. And you're sitting there going, I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, that's what you just say. You just say, you're lying. you just dig the biggest.
You just turn around at them. You turn around at them.
No.
I actually I watched a trailer. There was an Australian movie. It's called The Butter Book.
Mm-hmm. Butter Book?
But I think it's like called The Butter Book. It's got like ridiculous like reviews and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got like George Miller. He's Australian, isn't he?
George Miller's. I think George Miller's Australian, but he's phenomenal, man.
Yeah. So
I watched Happy Feet the other day. You seen Happy Feet?
No, I haven't actually. Because
you haven't seen Happy Feet or Happy Feet 2. Mate, I'm back at the stage now where I've come back. So I'm watching Madagascar, Madagascar 2, Happy Feet 2, Shrek 1, 2. There's about 50 Shreks. Mate, you know how good it is? There's a storyline and it goes over the kids' heads, but they love it because there's the penguins. But it's so clever and they've got so many good actors in it. And mate, it's just, I'm
Pixar,
back.
What did I watch?
Mate, Pixar and DreamWorks and that, they look real. It's real. And 100%. The people in there are fake. They get humans to come in. They look more real than we look.
Yeah.
If you can work that out.
Yeah. 100%. So I actually went on your Wikipedia, and I've got a bit of a bone to pick. It says you're 6'3". You're taking the piss, aren't you?
No, I'm 6'3", man.
Bro, if you're 6'3",
what's my weight on there?
90 kilos. I'll give you that, even though you're looking like Steve Monaghetti.
If I had gumboots on and 4 backpacks.
Yeah, it says 6'3", taking the piss, 90 kilos. 126 games, 53 tries.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
But I was going all right there. I was at 1 every 2 games for a bit. Then I left Benji, man.
Wait, bro, I left...
Then Toddy got injured.
I left outside of Hodjo, and that was just ending my career, pretty much. Just ended
it's like Jamie Lyon, mate. The Wolfman played for Australia, and Jamie Lyon got injured, and Wolfman's at Asquith or something.
Is Wolfman, like, where is he?
Wolfman's, I don't know, he shaved his beard,
Did he die?
man. No, well, Wolfman shaved his beard.
Oh, no, that's his
But he's back now.
power.
But, mate, I'm mates with Wolfman. He's a good player.
He was ridiculously good. He was killing it.
It wasn't just finishing tries, man. Did you see his try against Souths last year? 2 years ago? When
was
Greg
it
Inglis
the
hit him.
90 metre try?
No,
or?
Greg Inglis hit him. He had full body out. Inglis, biggest person in the world.
Strongest person in the world.
Bigger than any person, football and not
I've
football
still got
related.
a chipped tooth from when he fended my face.
My neck was from looking at Inglis. He got knocked out of the field and scored the try, mate. That's one of my favourite tries ever.
Yeah, Inglis, he's ridiculous.
That's not fair.
It is not fair. It's like a guy like Sonny Bill.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. He's ridiculously
We do
good
the same
looking.
weights. We eat the same food.
Yep.
But I don't do anything.
Like, compared to him, I'm lucky to make local league.
I look like a little kid trying to tackle him. And mate, I used to shit myself when Jared Hayne returned the ball and there was 13 of us.
Yeah.
I'm praying that he doesn't come near me.
When I remember returning the ball, seeing Sonny Bill and running directly the opposite direction. The thing is, he's good looking, successful, funny, charming,
rich.
Like, he's perfect.
Mate, And the scary thing is when I took a bit of the piss out of him on the Footy Show that time, and then he plays right back row for the Roosters the year they won the comp, and we were at Shark Park, and he was playing left.
Yep. Was that intentional, do you think?
Of course. And then I got the ball and I said, all right, and Gal come up behind me, and I said, oh, look, first play, I just want to get it out of me. I'm just coming out. And he goes, Gal goes, run at Sonny Bill, I'm behind you. Because Gal wanted to fight him off the field. Like, Gal wants to fight him for charity. So he thought it'd be a good idea
like,
if Sonny Bill
turn
blocked
it up
me,
a bit.
then he can come in and they fight on the field.
That
Everyone would want that. Because Gal's only worried about the money.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that.
Well, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. Yeah, of course.
I would
Footy
pay
Show
for that.
to be on next... Can't say too much, but
it's okay.
I can't give. Hey, you're gonna break it, man. This podcast is the locker room. You listen to the locker room.
Exclusive. That's what we're talking about. We're getting exclusives.
Hey, I know both of the guys. If we can get the right people to come to the table, I think they'll break.
That'd be huge.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 90.
Who are you backing?
Oh man, I can't say that. But I've got it's going to be a 90-10 split to Sonny Bill. Like it's going to be like Mayweather Pacquiao split. But that's what's going to have to happen, man.
That would be a fantastic. Get maybe Quade Cooper on the undercard.
Quade will be on the undercard.
I'll fight probably a 15-year-old 60-kilo jockey.
I'll fight Gavin Badger or something. A touch judge. Nah, man, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
I remember the only fight I got in, I got pretty much bashed by about 10 guys.
Yeah, well, one of my mates was in a fight once, and I come in and was trying to help him out, and I ended up getting... I tell everyone I got cowed punched, but it was more. I thought it was a girl. I had long hair, but I just, I'm not a fighter.
A cowed punch, and you were actually the one that came from behind.
Nah.
So, what would be like Beau Ryan, self-made? You've done obviously you've had support, beautiful wife, beautiful kid. What would be if there was kids out? Obviously, there's thousands of kids that look up to you. What would be something that you would say to them, regardless of career? Unique advice that you could kind of impart to them. What would you say to a kid that says, Beau, my dream is to X?
Yep.
What would you say to them? Because I know when I came to you, you were about this whole thing, and you were really good to talk to.
That's a great question, man. I think the best thing about it, I didn't achieve, I wasn't the best sports player. I'm not the best on TV. I'm not the best actor. I'm not the best singer. I'm nothing like that. But I've tried everything, and I'll continue to try things, and I've got belief in myself that I can do it. And if I get given an opportunity, I'll go as hard as I can, and if it works for me, I'll keep doing it. If it doesn't, I'll find something else, sort of like what Arnie said. But the best thing about it is I've got people around me who believe in me. I believe in myself. It might sound naive, or it might sound a bit, I don't know, it might sound a bit, I don't know, it's, what's the word? It might sound a bit, not selfish, it might sound a bit funny, like, I've got to weigh everything up and look at, I do take criticism on board and things like that, but at the same time, I'm focused on what I want, and I've got people around me who tell me I can do things, and I've got a team of people, my friends, management, family, that all believe in me. So I've got enough self-belief that I can do anything at the moment. Not anything, but I can achieve a lot of things on and off camera, and I've got a lot I want to do.
Has that built over the years?
100%. And the more, I've got like a checklist and a thing and goals, and the more I achieve, the more I get nervous, mate. I still get nervous. Don't worry. Before I interview people, I'm shitting myself, and before I go on the show and that, I'm all right. But before I go on this pantomime, mate, I'll be a mess. But it just builds you as a person and builds your character. So I believe I can do it, and hopefully, as I keep growing as a person and experience more in life, then I can make better decisions and try and grow my brand.
Well, because that's what I've kind of noticed. I feel like as a mate, watching you go from strength to strength, when we talk about, like, when you were talking to me about, like, this is crazy, I'm interviewing Vin Diesel or whatever, even within those 2 weeks of going to interview Fast and Furious and going to interview the Entourage and stuff like that, I've seen like a confidence as well as like just like it. I feel like you pick things up so quickly, and you're so good at kind of adapting to any kind of situation.
Well, that's important, and I think that's what I've got on my side, which is probably from my dad. My dad's very, outgoing, and he can relate to people. And I think that's my strength. I can relate to anyone in any situation. I might not be able to, I've never gone through what you've gone through, and you haven't walked in my shoes, but I can still relate you and feel you and know what you're talking about. And sometimes I might not have any idea what they're talking about, but I'll still, if they're that far fetched, I'll still pretend to get on the level. But
so you're all doing the actor thing to other people.
I genuinely love talking to people and meeting different people from all walks of life, all different colours, all different religions, and I like meeting different people all the time. And I feel that I've met enough people in my life now already to make good decisions and get a good read on people, and I think that's my strength.
Yep. So we'll just change it up a bit. Or 5 questions. No, sorry, 3 questions.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
Number 1, I always think about this and I always change it
So do I.
for this exact moment.
Yep.
At the moment, man, if I had to say my favorite movie, I'd probably say, the more I think about it, Shutter Island.
Whoa.
I love it, man.
That is a good movie.
Fantastic.
Tell me what was at the end. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. What do you reckon?
I know, 100% they've convinced him that he's crazy.
So you reckon he was crazy at the end?
Yeah, I reckon he was sweet. It was sweet before he got there, and they've all convinced
They
him
convinced
that he's crazy.
him.
And so
I
he's
reckon-
crazy at the end, but he knows what's going on, but he's crazy, but they've turned him into that.
I reckon.
That's the best
he
thing
was
about
there.
those movies.
Yeah,
Scorsese,
yeah,
man, he's a
yeah.
genius.
Oh, so good. What about Wolf of Wall Street?
Off Wall Street, yeah, it's all right. Man,
Didn't
Departed's better.
Is DiCaprio the best actor in Hollywood right now?
I think so.
Like
Well, no, not right now. I think ever, man.
ever better than Denzel? Yeah, you beating Denzel?
Yeah, he's better than Denzel, man. I think.
Denzel, I love me a bit of Denzel. Like let's think of their lineup. We got Denzel's got ridiculous like Courage Under Fire.
It's very subjective though. It's all personal preference.
Yep.
And it changes, especially meeting these people.
Yep.
Well, I haven't met obviously Denzel.
You probably
and
will.
Leo. Well, that's the plan. But I like Wahlberg.
Wahlberg is the man,
Because
the
of what he
fighter.
offers.
That's a
And
great
mate, the
movie.
more you realise about these people, and the more you learn, mate.
Yeah,
the
okay,
more
yep.
background. That's if you know Wahlberg's story, man, you're going to respect Wahlberg.
Yep. Is he gonna like do a biopic kind of or anything like that? You
I
reckon?
doubt it, man. He's got
Because he came from like a rough kind
mate,
of.
he's got that many production companies and things going on. He's got Ted 2 coming out in a
That's so
couple of
funny,
weeks.
yeah,
So he's got too much going on for that man at the moment. When he's ready, he'll do it.
Yeah. I was gonna say top musician, but top rapper. I want to know who your top rapper is
My number 1 is at the moment or of all time.
all time.
Tupac.
And at the moment,
Tupac, man.
Tupac.
I love Tupac, but at the moment, Drizzy, Drake. I can't get enough of him.
You can't get. I mean,
I can't get enough of Drake at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
leave here now. I've got to go to this thing tonight, and I'll listen to Drake for an hour and a half.
I think. I'm struggling between Kendrick and Drake because Kendrick's
I can't get into Kendrick.
You don't like Kendrick?
I can't get into him.
Yeah, it's so hard. I think like lyrically, I like Kendrick better.
Yeah.
But songs, Drake, you can't beat him.
Well, that's the thing I respect about rappers and these guys because they write their own music most of them.
Yep.
Well, not music, but they write their own lyrics.
The lyrics,
which
exactly.
Is,
Well, it's kind of part of being a rapper. That's the kind of the special.
Well, that's it, and that's why these Taylor Swift and Katy Perry they get so much credit and people love them is because they write their own music.
How good is Taylor Swift? I mean, I know she's probably psycho, got heaps of.
Her and Katy Perry, man, they know their market and they know their thing, and they got that Bad Blood together, which she brought that song out. But mate, they're like revolutionising.
I know this may sound like I'm losing my nuts, but I watched the Katy Perry documentary.
Yeah, I watched it too.
And
that's heavy, man.
I like the amount of respect I got for her. Like I thought, just typical pop star.
It's a fine line between respect and she's it's cost her relationship.
Yep.
So it's a fine line of being too much involved in it, but her goal was more to be number 1, and she was for many years. With Taylor Swift and her, they chop and change.
Yep.
But if they want to be the biggest pop stars in the world, it's all about sacrifice, and that's her sacrifice.
Yep, 100%. All right, bro. So I'll let you. You've got a head soon, eh?
Yeah.
So we've got the Footy Show. Obviously, everyone already knows where you're at. You got the Footy Show on Thursday. What's the plan for you in the future? What's coming up? Anything that you want to kind of get out there?
Well, I've got to do this pantomime, and we'll see how we go from that. It's going to be nerve wracking. I'd like to you guys to be there and check it out. But man, I'd like to do over the next few years do something in front of camera, whether it's a little small play or a show or a movie or something like that. I'd like to have a crack at that.
So is there anything coming up that you kind of want to like say people to watch out for?
Well, obviously the pantomime's going to be pretty heavy, but this year, man, I'm pretty jam packed with a lot of stuff that I'm doing. I'm going to go on holidays at the end of the year, which I usually do in October, November, or December, one of them.
Yep.
But I've got plans for put stuff in place with meeting enough people overseas and things to maybe try something, whether it's a short film or something like that. I'd love to do something like that. That's a goal of mine.
That'll be good. All right, man.
You heard it here first, man.
Thanks so much for coming, bro.
No worries.
I
Thanks
really
for having me,
appreciate
man.
it.
I love what you're doing and make sure everyone's listening. I'll be back, bro. Don't worry about that.
Thanks, my bro.
Thanks, man.
See you.